Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. You are welcome here. And hopefully everyone is able to hear me. I want to get down to the nitty gritty. Welcome back to my podcast. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's get it popping today. So, the podcast is Life Essentials. I also have a publication called Mental Sense, and that is Mental Sense, CENTS. For those of you who don't know my background, my undergrad is business organizational management with a minor in education. These things are very dear to me. And my master's studies is clinical counseling, psychology. So everything that I do is laced with all of that. Today, I'm going to be talking about intelligence, but intelligence as it relates to tactical movement, strategy, and even business. So, every single thing that is talked about today, you might see me looking down because I took a couple of notes when I was, you know, juggling and going over what I was going to talk about. But everything can be used that I will discuss today. It can be used for business, it can be used for your own personal self building up, to enhance yourself because, just to tell the truth, we are all a work in progress and we should always be getting better in every single type of way. We should be getting better in business. We should be becoming better people, and we should be getting better in strategy, strategic, tactical movement, a knowledge base of everything that we engage in. We should be getting better. And so the things that I discussed today, they can be utilized for either business, your own personal growth, or even to do with tactical growth. One of the first things that I want to discuss is a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis. I want to encourage you as an individual, and if you own a business owner, and if you are into tactical training, weapons training, things of those that nature, I want to encourage you to do a SWOT analysis on all three areas. So a SWOT analysis, that is your strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. I want you to analyze, from a place that is not swayed, a place that is very candid, because it will be for your own growth, for you to measure you up against you. So, what are your true strengths, not perceived strengths? And how we can identify this is view our true strengths and then view other people that are stronger than us in those areas, and then we can compare the percentage of, okay, I need to upgrade, I need to get better at this, or you want to settle and be mediocre. But so you want to identify your true strength. You want to identify what your weaknesses are. Where are you weak? What are your areas of weakness, true weaknesses? Because those are areas that you want to enhance. You want to identify what opportunities are before you. These opportunities could be business opportunities. These opportunities, if I could actually talk, these opportunities could be relationship opportunities. A lot of times it we enhance as people and we get better as people when we connect to other people that are stronger in areas that we are weak in. And so, what opportunities do you have before you? Do your opportunities revolve around business opportunities? Are these opportunities with relationships with people? Are these opportunities of strategic, where your location opportunities, do you have marketing opportunities, do you have what other type of opportunities? So do an exhaustive and identify every type of opportunity that you have before you. And then threats. What are your real, not perceived threats? What are threats to your strengths? What are the actual threats to whatever it is that your individual self, your business, um, and what are threats to your tactical movement? And the reason why you need to analyze these things is because too many times we are retroactive as a people as opposed to being proactive. So identify them so that you can eliminate them if it is possible. I want to talk, I always throw in some personal information because I believe that these things are teachable moments. So as I get into this topic on intelligence, I want to talk to you about, if you watch the YouTube video that I posted, if you listen to anything that I said or you know me, I talked about a time where I went out to train people, and when I went out to train people, I was surrounded by law enforcement. Now, I don't have an illegal background. My background is I move correctly. So there was no proper reason for me to be surrounded by law enforcement when there's no legitimate reason. I will tell you there's no legitimate reason because there is no type of scheme or apply or anything other than simple training for people, which is something that we lawfully legally could do. But again, people can be looked at as a perceived and not a real threat. But I want to go into detail of why I know that I was surrounded, why that happened to me. And the reason why that happened to me is because I move in a certain level of intelligence and I impart that intelligence to other people. Now, the issue came in is because the people that I imparted the knowledge to, I made it private where everybody didn't have access to that knowledge, meaning law enforcement didn't have access to that knowledge, meaning those that were trying to find out secret information undercover didn't have access to that knowledge. And so this was a perceived threat because I didn't openly share knowledge with everybody. That's literally what it was about. The level of intelligence that I operate in, the level of strategy that I operate in, and the fact that I don't broadcast what I'm doing to everybody across everything. And I stop those that are pretending to be one thing, but they're not. That's literally why I was pinpointed and targeted. Now, I don't have a problem with law enforcement. And some of the people that I love, 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 they're in law enforcement. And if they wanted to show up at a training, they could be there. But I do have a problem with secret people trying to play games and all that silliness. But I'm just telling you all the truth because I'm gonna break and go into intelligence. When people had a problem with me putting y'all on game privately about intelligence or tactical maneuver, and that's too much information for you all to know. So I'm openly, because people do it all the time, I'm going to openly teach you all about levels of intelligence. I'm going to openly teach you all, and you will see exactly what it is. I'm going to openly tell you. So I want to talk about intelligence today. I already talked about your SWOT analysis. And let me tell you why it's important for me to not just teach people physical maneuvers. Okay? When you go into law enforcement, you have to do a psychological assessment. You got to find out if people, it's crazy that you putting these weapons in their hand, and there's a great percentage that are, but still. There is the burden of accountability and responsibility. So based on the level of knowledge and skill that you share with people, you also are comparable, you are responsible to teach them mentally or identify their levels mentally. Can they be responsible and move responsibly with this information that I share with them? Or are they going to go out stupidly and do something crazy? Okay, so this is something that I like to acknowledge, because a lot of people are teaching a lot of things that are very skillful, but are you psychologically assessing them people that you're teaching? Because I've ran into a lot of people that ain't too bright. I don't want to be rude. They may be bright in other areas, but in the areas that they need to be bright in to actually maneuver with the level of responsibility and maturity and accountability, there's a lot of people that they just want to be seen. And so you teach them something, they'll do something stupid. You tell them about guns, and the minute that something pop off, they're scared and they just shooting people, doing something dumb. And so it is a responsibility to not just educate people tactically and physically, but you have a responsibility, or we have a responsibility, to assess the level of knowledge and assist people in their mental game and their knowledge. Okay, so some of the things that is very important is intelligence. As I said before, anybody that goes into law enforcement, they're going to have to pass what? A psychological evaluation. They're going to have to pass a polygraph. They're going to have to pass. There are other indicators. There are other things that they have to pass. The physical. A lot of people right now, they all on physical. But I like physical, but I also like mentally competent people. And I put people on intelligence game. And because of that, because of my level of intelligence, that is the reason why some people have an issue with me, because I'm not just dumb, flashing guns and ammo and telling you all to do it. And I'm not saying other people are. They're very intelligent people, but I'm sharing information that is necessary, and which is why people look at me in a certain way, and why people will question, who is she? Who is she? She is a child of the Most High. That's who she is. Who put her on game? My daddy. That's who she is. So y'all can question it, because I like to go to strange places and do strange things. I'm adventurous with no fear. So then you question it. Who is she? Who is she connected to? Silly rabbit. She is connected to the Most High. Before you ever saw me on social media, before you ever saw me in real life, I was in the streets, in the hood, connected to my daddy. That's who I am. And I know some people have been studying me for quite some time. But anyway, let's talk about these intelligence. Let's talk about intelligence. So I want to tackle the idea that intelligence is something that other people are, or when we have a look of being intelligent. I want to tackle the idea, the concept of intelligence. I learned early on in college, because I don't believe that because you go to college, you're really intelligent. I don't believe that. I don't believe that just because you finish academia or you're somewhere in school and you pass tests. I'm not saying you're not intelligent. I'm just saying I don't gauge that as the only means of being intelligent, or actually being intelligent. Some people go to school and they come out dumber than when they first went in. But intelligence, I am going to present to you, intelligence is a multifaceted thing. Okay. And everything that I tackled today, it can be utilized for your business, for your personal self, and for your tactical game. All right, for your defense game. It all can be utilized for each one. Now, as it pertains to intelligence, I learned in high school. I'm sorry, that's a lie. I learned in college that smart people are not those who look like they're smart. There's a lot of people that look like they're smart. They know all of these intelligent words. And then you can have somebody that just talks straight hood and street, and they're more intelligent than the person that knows all of these proper terminologies. A smart person, I propose to you, and you can comment, you can object me, talk about it, because I am not intimidated by other ideologies. I'm not intimidated by your intelligence or your perspective. A smart person to me is a person that knows how to find the answer. That's what a smart person is to me. They know how to find the answer. Something that I taught my children when I homeschooled them early on. I taught my son is 25, about to be 26 years old. He went to college. He played football, but he went to college on an academic scholarship. I remember one of my mother's friends. She was a Caucasian lady. I'm gonna bring it up. She was a white lady. And she was like, when he was younger, she was like, oh, he'll definitely go to school on a football scholarship. She said he was going to go, but the perception, I corrected her, he will go to school on an academic. And if he chooses, he can get a football scholarship as well. But don't minimize my children like they don't have the intelligence that they need. What did he go to college on? He went to college on a academic scholarship to Ball State University. All right. His GPA coming out of high school was top. And I homeschooled him, but then going into in high school, I let him go into a high school because he played football for the actual high school. When he was younger, he played on teams. Both of my oldest sons. So, but what I'm saying is intelligence for even for my sons, for my children, it was important for me to give them the ability to do research, figure out if what you're being told is accurate, even check me, even prove me. And so I loved it as they became older and they, well, here is such and such and such, it says this, I know you said that, but here, oh, sharpen me. You know why? Because if you sharpen me, that means that I put the right thing in you. I put the right tools in you for you to not just stop where I'm at, but to go greater, go harder than where I'm at. And that's literally what is supposed to happen. I am supposed to put tools in the people that eat and that I feed, that feed off of me, that's going to make them be sharper and greater than where I'm at and come back and sharpen me. I would like to be sharpened when you get greater. When you greater than me, come back and feed me. Why? Because that is a confirmation that I did my job. I gave you a good foundation. So let me continue. Intelligence. All right. So people with great responsibility, they should have a certain level of intelligence. If I entrust certain things to you, you should have a certain level of intelligence. Even as it pertains to spiritual wise. In order for authority and giftings to be entrusted, now gifts and callings, they come without repentance, but certain levels, they only come at a certain level of responsibility or accountability. Like the scripture says, to whom much is given, much is required. If you look anywhere in the scriptures, you're going to see when there was a prophet and he had an apprentice, he had somebody operating up under him, they had to work and learn and prove. There was even schools of the prophets. So this thing about checking the mentality, the level, the responsibility of the accountability of people prior to you pouring in certain things is very necessary. It spans physical and spiritual. All right, so one of the things I'm going to talk about as it pertains to intelligence is self-awareness. If a person does not have self-awareness, they're lacking in the area of intelligence. Now, does that mean that they're just dumb? No, they can be very smart in some areas, but you are more intelligent when you are self aware. You know what you look like, you know what you sound like, you know how to engage and communicate to other people. You are self aware of your space, you are self aware of what you're giving off to people. So you know, not only that, you know your likes, your dislikes, your goals, your strengths, your weaknesses. That's why I said I started off with that SWOT. So that is a highly intelligent person is going to have the attribute of being self-aware. They're going to be, how can you be intelligent and all of these other things, but you're not even aware of yourself? Right? I'm talking about highly intelligent people because I know there are people that are very smart in an area such as engineering, but they don't have any self awareness. They don't know how to relate to other people. And the only thing they know is that information and how to do that thing. Some people could be so skillful and knowledgeable, but they won't even know. And you say, well, teach me. Let me know. They won't know how to teach you because they're just smart in that area. But I'm talking about a highly intelligent person. So as I go down this list, I want you to identify if some of these attributes are you. Are you a highly intelligent person? Or if you need to sharpen some of these areas. Okay. So, highly intelligent person does not think that they're perfect. They understand that I make mistakes. I don't know everything, but I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to be committed to fix this area and get better in this area. That's a highly intelligent person. Why is that a highly intelligent person? Because somebody that thinks they know everything, they're stuck right there. You ain't the best. You might be great, but there is someone better. So a highly intelligent person is willing to look at, oh, what areas am I weak in? A highly intelligent person is able to identify, oh, I'm insecure about this, and this is why. So I need to do something to work on that area so I won't be insecure and I can be competent and confident, right? Okay. The highly intelligent person is willing to work on their weaknesses while developing their strengths. Is that you? See, as I said before, all of these things can be utilized for business, self building, building yourself up, but also it can be utilized for defense, tactical training. All of these things you can utilize this for strategy to be strategic. All right, so a highly intelligent person has the ability to maintain a variety of interests. A highly intelligent person. So sometimes you'll see a person and you say, "Well, let me talk about me." So one minute you down here in this state doing this, next minute you up in the mountain, one minute you over here shooting, the next minute you running a logistics business, and you doing this and you doing that. You doing all of these different things. You farming, you doing. A highly intelligent person has not just restricted interest. They have the ability to maintain a variety of interests. So for me, as it pertains to me, it's necessary for me to know certain things. I'll tell you why it's necessary for me to learn how to farm, because that's what we eat from. And if and whoever feeds me controls me. So I want to feed myself, because I like to be controlled by me or the Most High, or both, or Him first and then me after. So because it's within His permission. I so everything that I do is strategic. It's for a reason. But highly intelligent people have the ability to maintain several projects or interests. Um, it could be you have your main job and then you have your side job. It could be you learning a foreign language, anything, things of that nature. But it's literally you're doing something to improve you, your surrounding, your people. It's highly intelligent people want to improve their themselves, their atmosphere. So is it you? Is it somebody around you? Like, oh, they always working on something. Um, Also, a highly intelligent person, they analyze themselves. They take time away from people to process. So don't feel bad if people are like, oh, you're antisocial, or you. A highly intelligent person needs time away to process events, to process encounters, to process their growth or lack thereof, to study their experience, to identify what their next moves will be. So, again, highly intelligent people take some time away. More things that highly intelligent people do. They are sensitive to other people's feelings. In psychology, we talk about the emotional awareness. They are socially, emotionally aware. They are aware of, if I do this, how would it impact you? So that's another one. They're not just driven. This is what I think. This is what I think. That's a limited mind. A limited mind that is just trying to press. I think, and when you communicate with them, the only thing that they're stuck on is their way, their view. So what does that mean? That means that they lack flexibility. That means that so highly intelligent people are flexible. They are adaptable. They can adapt. They can thrive throughout any type of situation, because they're not just stuck in a certain set way. They're adaptable, flexible. They can hear other people's opinions and ideals, not just to be able to refute them or combat them, but they can hear them to perceive them and identify if it pertains to them. A highly intelligent person does not feel affected by criticism. When you communicate with them, a highly intelligent person won't take it personal because they're secure in who they are. They'll identify, is this an area that I do need to correct? Just some other things. And these are areas that as people we need to develop, because we're unified more, and we better unify when our intelligence is at a higher level. Listen, we don't use the largest percent. We use a small percentage of our brain. So we need to tap in and be those full brain people and access more intelligence. Highly intelligent people are very curious. They are always what is that? It's questions. I got questions. Now, as a woman, me, I'm going to tell you, I encounter people, may encounter men. I encounter people and I always have questions for them, because I want to know. The first thing I want to know, who are you? Who? It's a loaded question. What made you who you became today? Who are you? When you ask a person, Who are you? You learn so much if you're willing to learn. You learn so much about that person, but you also can learn experience. And you can learn from their experience. So I love to ask people, who are you? Who? Who are you? I love to. So, and then questions. I ask questions. I am curious. Now, as a woman, sometimes when you ask men questions, and it doesn't even have to be like in a relationship place, but sometimes men are like, don't ask me all those questions. Don't ask me all of, because they're used to women trying to ask them questions to as a place of maybe attack, um, as a place of maybe trying to lurk or hunt them down. I don't know. A sidebar, this is a tangent on the side, but I've never been the type where I'm trying to lurk or hunt you down. If I was in a relationship with you and you doing something, your business is going to come right out in front of me. I'm going to know it, and I ain't got to look at your phone. I ain't going to have to stalk you, and I don't want to be in no foolishness like that anyway, right? My intelligence needs to be focused on something greater. And if you lack self discipline, that's not my responsibility to track you. And highly intelligent people have self discipline. They do. They're able to be disciplined. Um, but curiosity, they're very curious. So I ask questions because I want to know. It enhances my level of intelligence. Um, it's good to ask questions as opposed to pretend to know it all or research and get the true, realist answer. Highly intelligent people are objective. They can be objective about about different things. They can objective. They can remove their feelings out of the equation, remove their personal tangents or thoughts out of the equation, and stand in an objective place to decipher if this is true or if that is true. So that means they're not rigid. So highly intelligent people, they're not rigid, they are objective. Highly intelligent people may have the attribute of being silent. And with the silence, a lot of times it is, you may see that person because sometimes I'm that person. I'm in the room and I'm quiet, but I'm in overload. I am observing everything. And it's all kind of fireworks going off in my head, but my face may just look like but in my head is ooh, 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 ooh. Highly intelligent people can be silent until it's time to speak. They're silent in a sense of observing or knowing the right answer, not speaking too soon or saying something inappropriately that will harm that will harm and hinder as opposed to edifying a person. So highly intelligent people, they're not so rash with their words. They can be quiet and wait. Also, it's funny too because highly intelligent people prefer in-depth conversation. They don't prefer the small. I am not that person, guys. I do have to tell you, I am not the person that's just going to go in circles about silly little conversations. I mean, I respect you if you do. I may entertain it for a minute. I don't even like to be on the phone. And I will tell you why, because I like to spend time with people. I am in depth and I like to be attentive. And on the phone for me is not attentive because and I don't like to be on the phone because when I do get on the phone, I'm usually going to be on the phone 2 to 4 hours. It's going to be in depth for the other person. So I don't even like to get on the phone because then I know as soon as I get on the phone, this block of time in my day is going to be taken away. Why? Because I am intentional about people and I am person centered. So I'm not going to be on the phone halfway ignoring them, halfway listening to them, and not attending to them. And so that's why I don't like the phone. Um, and the little small talk that it's okay, but not really. That's not. I like the in depth. I'll meet people. I'll meet people that I am engaging in business with for contracts, and I am nitty gritty, like nuts and bolts. Like, who are you? No, no, no. Okay, I know about this, but let's get down to this. Tell me, I want to know it. I like depth. I like connections with people. Real. I like real connections. I don't like fleeting falsehood cake. No, I like the real nitty gritty. So, highly intelligent people prefer to have in depth conversations as opposed to just small talk. I already talked about them being highly adaptable, um, resilience. Oh, and that resilience literally being able to, when adversity occurs, able to bounce back. Not afraid of uncertainty, self control. We discussed that. Um, I want to address this because with the highly intelligent people, typically it takes something to get you to that place. Let's say it again. Typically, it takes something to get you to that place of high intelligence. A lot of these things that I'm talking about, I didn't start off with them, but over time and due to my encounters that I have, at some good and some bad experiences, they developed me and sharpened me as a person. Okay. So, highly intelligent people, when they encounter hurt or rejection or being dismissed, it does not result always in like a yelling or like catastrophe because they have the ability to problem solve. For me, if there are not, if say there's two people and there's going to be a collide and you know there's confusion, if both people are not working towards problem solving, I don't want to be a part of that. If you just want blah 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 and act the doggone fool, go do that by yourself because I don't got time for it. You do all that noise and that yippee 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 somewhere else. When you're ready to problem solve, then let's have a conversation. All the other confusion and drama, no. Highly intelligent people have the capacity to problem solve. People that are not, they have limited problem solving capacity. So it's immediately, let me draw my gun. It's immediately, let me beat you down. It's immediately, let me yell at you. And being from Chicago, for me, I can't do a bunch of back and forth with words. It's not, Chicago is a city of action. Okay. So when you grow up, it's boom, 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 boom. It's action. So when you get all like this, I know other states are like, not, but I know other states may have that, it's back and forth, and where I'm from, when you get into it's So I don't even like a lot of back and forth like that. Bring it down. Let's communicate. Let's communicate on a respectable level. Let's problem solve because all that is going to lead to action. And from Chicago, your action is quicker than other places a lot of times. I'm not going to say every place because I know there's some other places on the map. But with that being said, um, having the ability to problem solve and not immediately go to a reaction of I'm gonna beat you down, immediately go into the reaction of I'm gonna shoot you down. But hey, let's talk about this. I was speaking with one of my friends the other day, a little bit ago, and he was talking to me about how somebody had owed him some money. And when went to the person, he's like, "Hey, you owe me money, blah blah blah." And the person's like, "Yeah, you gonna talk to me?" Came back with an attitude. It was a male, and he came back to one with an attitude. You gonna treat me like a kid about my money, about that money? You ain't gonna treat me like a man about this money. So he went and asked him a legitimate question. He asked him, "Hey, do you have my money?" The response was not a response of a highly intelligent person. The response was a response of somebody that feel guilty and somebody that don't know how to deal with if it's some type of confrontation, and being called out on the fact that he didn't pay that money. He didn't come up off that money. But this person, he's like, hey, as opposed to, because he has the nature where he could go to y'all like my sound effects. He could go to he got that nature, but he's highly intelligent. And so as opposed to going to he said, hey, he didn't even meet anger with anger. He just literally said, hey, if I thought you weren't a man, I would have never gave you the money. And I'm not responding to you and communicating to you as somebody that is a little kid or a little boy. I'm treating you as a man, asking you for the money when you have it, or do you have it? So but I'm dealing with you after this. But if you need to deal with me, if you need me to deal with you in another way, I can deal with you that way also. But never was I mistreating you or demeaning your manhood. I wouldn't even deal with you if I thought you weren't a man. The guy's response, oh, okay. Next day, he brought him his money. Do you see? That's highly intelligent. He got the smoke. He with the hands. He got it better than the person he was dealing with. He got it, but he got high intelligence. Some of y'all got some of y'all got high skill. You with the smoke, you with this, but your intelligence can be minimal when you get angry. And you don't weigh up the cost of what this little person would cost you, or how could you deal with this situation. You only see red. All you see is red. They in between, there is nothing else. There's no high, no low, no middle. All you see is red. Some of you operate like that. The minute you get angry, man, I had to do it. The heck you mean you had to do it? You don't have a high enough capacity or intelligence to have a multiplicity of choices with and options in this scenario. You're limited. You had to do it. So what does that mean? That means as it pertains to in your rage, then your capacity to be intelligent minimizes. I don't want to tribe with people that can't be intelligent when they're angry. I don't want to tribe with people that can't be, I'm gonna just say it again, that can't be intelligent when they're angry. Why? Because they do dumb bleed. And then they say, and they justify the dumb bleed that they do and say, I had to do it. No, I could think about, or I could think of about 10 other ways that you could do it that don't equate the way that you did do it. So, again, intelligence, even in your rage. And I'm going to speak about that because I had an anger problem. I'm going to be very honest with you. I had an anger problem. One day y'all will hear about it. One day y'all will hear about it. But let me just say, I'm going to keep it right here. I had an anger problem. Learning how to be intelligent even when you're angry, that is a work. Is that something that you need to work on? Avoiding rash decisions, rash movements that are just trying to get clout. That's not intelligent. Trying to do moving so you can have clout, so that people can look at you. Because those people will watch you, and then when foolishness happens to you, they still watching you. Move in calculated, strategic ways after you do your SWOT analysis that are going to benefit your life, that are going to benefit the life of your tribe, that are going to benefit the life of your people. All right. Also, intelligent people have the ability to acknowledge their faults. They will admit, "Ooh, I was wrong." Mm. They'll weigh it out. I thought I was right about that, but what did you say? Okay, let me consider. Let me consider this. I'll give you all a prime example. So I took my son to lunch a couple of months ago. Took him to lunch. The 22-year-old took him to lunch, and so we're sitting talking, and he brings up a situation because I got a mouth on me, y'all. I'm very candid. Like, I'm one of those people. If you don't want to know, don't ask me. I can be sweet with it, but I can be straightforward too. So this was like years ago. He had this cute little girlfriend, and um, but she was let me say a little bit less than virtue, and I could see it. Okay, but he really, really liked this girl, and so one day, you know how these young people do? They sit up with the phone, wherever they doing is with them, like the person with them, and they on speaker. And I don't know that because I don't come from that background where you just have a phone attached to you all day long, where people hear all your business, what you do, like them jokers take it to the bathroom with them. Like, really, get off the doggone phone. But he had the phone with him. I didn't know he was on the phone. And he was like, what her name is. He was like, well, she said, so he had bought a ticket to go and travel to see her. And she was in college or whatever. And so she said something about something bad happened at the college and that they couldn't have any guests. And the okay, I'll be honest about me, y'all. See, and that the dorm had all this like catastrophe happen or whatever. So he's telling me this with her on the phone, and I'm not knowing she's on the phone. And I'm like, that little lion, I might have said ho, or I don't know. It was not nice. Let me just put it like that. It wasn't something, it was just like that little asshole. She knows she got a boyfriend on that campus and she don't want you to show up. And yeah, that's really what that's about. After you done paid for a ticket, blah, blah, blah. Nah. So that was all right. So speed it up to present. We're at lunch and he's talking and he was like, you was wrong. You was wrong for he was like, when I told you about that she was on the phone and you was just like, yeah, I wasn't lying. And it came out that, she is what she is. So my mentality, he's like, you was wrong for that back then. And I was looking at him like, huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? I'm wrong for calling a spade a spade. He wasn't saying I was wrong for saying it on the phone when she overheard it. Later on, he told me, and I was like, okay, like you shouldn't have had the phone on speaker. You know my mouth, you know me. But at the time when we had lunch, I was able, after I let him voice, and I wanted to search, what is your understanding? What are you perceiving and what am I perceiving? Because as a mother, I'm perceiving that this is a little hoe. And you just need to be protected and not waste your money going to see her. That's what I perceived as a mother. So that was protect her. But you as a son, this is somebody that I had cared about and I really liked. And it hurt me when you said that about her or when you didn't pay attention to the fact that that was hurtful. And so having the ability to step outside of my I'm a bear, forget that little hoe, but go into can I be for real, but go into, oh, because you are a real person, and that not just a person that is my child. See, as a parent, a lot of times we don't look at our children as real people. It's, hey, for so long I did this for you, I did that, and I got to cover you and protect you. Not, oh, you really feel like this about this person? So I had to acknowledge and understand that, oh, you have real feelings and I should have took them into consideration. And I just been like, oh well, I could have did it differently. Like, oh, I understand that offended you. You have feelings about her. I understand. And be apologetic for that. And still be Mama Bear. And so we had a really good conversation, and he was able to perceive that, oh, you don't look at me like I'm a real person. And we really talked about it because he has a son. And I'm like, yeah, think about when your son is big and you want to protect him. Even when he's big, you protect him right now as a tiny little baby. When he's big, he's still your baby. Same way with you. So we had a really good conversation, being able to get outside of ourselves and see the perspective of the other person, which is a long way of me explaining that we have the ability to acknowledge, highly intelligent people have the ability to acknowledge our faults. And in acknowledging our faults does not make us inferior. So many people have inferiority complexes. And the reason why is because they mesh their development into their personhood. Don't mesh your development into your personhood. I know my personhood, who I am as a person. I am phenomenal. I love me. I love to spend time with me. But there are definitely areas I need to develop in, improve in, learn, and get better in. But that does not make me inferior as an entire person. So when you have an inferiority complex, you feel like if somebody critiques you, or if there's anything said about what you do, you feel like that's an attack on you. It may be an attack on actions, what you say, what you do, but your personhood and your development is different. It should be. All right. So highly intelligent people have a knack for wits. They are humorous. That's some things that there are some areas that were very serious, and I could be comical about it, lighthearted about it. So highly intelligent people have quick wit. I have a child that since he's been little, yay high, that little one has been witty and would crack me up, just crack everybody up. Because he always has something like you are too little to be, and they wanted to test him for, actually majority of my children, they wanted to test them all for being gifted. All of them, literally. I'm saying majority of my children. But quick wit, very, very wry sense of humor. Intelligent people, they have a sense of humor. They're comical. Um, they're honest with themselves, and it's a trait that is very admirable, and they can accept their mistakes. I think this is enough to take into what is perceived as the new year and identify if you have these attributes, if you are highly intelligent. And if you do, can you sharpen them? Can you make them better? Can you be at the top of your game in these areas? Can you be sharpened? Also, in your business, can you add these dynamics to your business so that the business that you bring forth is at the top of its game and it is excellent as well? I want to mention right now, since we're in this video, go ahead, subscribe. And I say, go ahead, subscribe, because my ideology is this. Listen to me. We all eat. All right. So I'm developing that chamber of commerce, that online chamber of commerce, where each one of you and your skills, your knowledge, your talents will be showcased. You will be able to lead and talk about what it is that you do, and talk about your knowledge base, and even talk about business, and be sharpened in your business with the other people that are in the online chamber of commerce. But one of the slogans that I have for this online chamber of commerce is that we all eat. I look at unconventional ways for everybody to be at the table that's a part of the online chamber of commerce, to be at the table of wealth. and multiplying. So listen to what I'm saying here, okay? I don't have the mentality of some preachers. Some preachers have this mentality of y'all bring your tithes, bring your offering, and let me eat. And you go home and you pray about what you gonna eat. And you go home and you and you believe for what you're gonna eat. When scripturally the Mashiach sat there and was like, "What y'all bring to eat? 2 fish, 5 loaves." All right, school back, school back. I'm finna multiply this because we all gonna eat. What you bring to eat, baby? I'm finna multiply this because what? We all gonna eat. We all gonna eat. It ain't gonna be no big eye at the top. Little you at the no. You if you part of the online chamber of commerce, we all gonna eat. Okay? And so we all gonna eat. We all eat. And so part of the concept of the online chamber of commerce will be each business, each person building up everyone. Now, YouTube is a platform. YouTube is a platform that people meet on. People have their television broadcasts on. People have, on YouTube. And the more followers, the more clicks, the more money people make. The online chamber of commerce, when you are a part of the online chamber of commerce, everybody follow everybody. Everybody subscribe to everybody's stuff because we all gonna eat. You understand? Ain't no big eyes, no little U's. I subscribe to you. I subscribe to them. We all subscribe and we keep it in the family. Why? Because every time I'm subscribing to you and you get this many followers or you get this many comments, this is how much more revenue is going to be paid to you and generated to you by YouTube. It ain't even coming out my own pocket. All it's coming out of is my energy to subscribe and pump you up. And so, one of the principles of the online chamber of commerce is we all eat. We all eat. So, we follow each other, we subscribe to each other, and we build one another up. Because, again, and I'm going to keep on saying it, there's 7.9 billion counted for people in this earth. All of that, baby, is your market. All of that. And so I think that was pretty much what I wanted to discuss. Intelligence. When you are highly intelligent, you think different, you move different. And those who are limited to the block, they won't understand your movements. But how can you expect them to? I say those who are limited to the block because everybody on the block is not limited to the block. Plenty of people that make it out the mud. And when they make it out the mud, they don't just make it out the mud and make money. They sharpen their intelligence and do something intelligent with it. But those who want to stay on the block and they're not willing to open up a book, watch a video that's going to teach them something, question and sharpen themselves, they're going to stay on the block. And how can you expect them to understand your moves, understand your words, and understand your strategy? So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Kind of let y'all know who I am and why I'm chief and why people like to watch me. Because when I do something, I do it in excellence and I move strategic and I teach people foundational things. All right. So comment, like, subscribe, because we all gonna eat. And I'm matching energy, baby. And those that come on board, we matching energy for our tribe. We are matching energy for our tribe. Because whatever your business is, we need you. We need your face on the map. We need to know your intelligence. We need to know your commitment. We need to know your who. We need to know we need to know why We need to send people over to you. Oh, you over in Ohio, you over in Detroit. Okay, we need to know. We need to know what's going on there so we can send people to you to get that thing done. It's excellence in this, baby. It's excellence. So I think that's it. I think that I have held you, but you should have gotten something. And if I left anything out, I know for a fact, or if I need to be corrected on anything, I know for a fact you all will comment. But go ahead, give me that like, that subscribe. Holler at your girl. Also, reach out to me if you're joining the online chamber of commerce. Remember, in the online chamber of commerce, if one of your social media pages get deleted because they don't like what you said or somebody steals your account, and these things happen. One day you could be at the top of your game. The next minute you, oh freak, how my people gonna find me? And then you just gotta beg people. Repost, let them know this is my new. If you're part of the online chamber of commerce, this is your community. And your community, the minute you step up in these conferences. You say you send that email, everybody's gonna know. Hey, go back, refollow, go back, put them on board. You still have your connections in your online in this online chamber of commerce. So if you want to join, put your business in, your 2A presence, your personality, whatever it is, if you want to join and be a part of the online chamber of commerce, go ahead and email me at Chaya Life Essentials at gmail.com. Chaya Life Essentials at CHAYA Life Essentials. You will see it below. Go ahead and shoot me out an email what your business is or your 2A presence is, or what your personality is, what you want to do, what you want added to this online chamber of commerce, and I will go ahead and put you in the role. I will put you in the roll call. If you want to be added and you want to present on your business, put that in there as well. Let me know, because I'm setting up the itinerary for all of 2022. Because who is gonna play? Who gonna play with them? She is not going to play. She didn't come here to play, baby. She didn't come here to play. Okay. So, with that being said, go ahead and make sure you send that email or you DM me at ready_force tactical on IG. Go ahead, send that info out so I can put you on the roll, and add you into everything. And I believe, because we all gonna eat, I believe that is it. I believe that's it. Oh, and we do have a wonderful interview coming up on Sunday, this Sunday at, I believe it is at 10 a.m. I will check the time again to confirm it. We have an interview with North Florida Tactical, and that's going to be, let me confirm the time. That is going to be this Sunday at 10 a.m. This is going to be a phenomenal interview. We're going to find out who North Florida Tactical is. And when I tell you he's coming with a load of information on tactical, medical, when I tell you this man has so many skill sets and certifications under his belt. He has, let's see, he has a tactical LLC training group. He has tactical casualty care certifications, stop the bleed certifications, and first aid certifications, TCCC and TECC, and USMC, USN, and A404. When I tell you he didn't come to play, he came to get you right. He is certified and willing to educate our people on tactical maneuvers as it pertains to medical responses. So it's going to be on and popping. It's going to be righteous. It's going to be the move. It's going to preset your 2022. And also he has an entire school. When I tell you it's highly intelligent, I'm looking like, oh, we highly intelligent. Is organized his system to educate so that people receive the optimal levels of what it is he has obtained. So I'm excited to interview this man and have a really good conversation with him and bring his skill set and knowledge and passion to the forefront. So that's going to be Sunday on my YouTube channel at 10 a.m. All right. I believe that's it. And shout out to official brave Black American. I just want to shout him out because I love the way that he moves. Me and him be having some of the same, some of the same. I mean, his story like, yeah, uh huh, right, exactly. But also he don't even mind. I'm looking at his story today, and even his communication with me. It's like up and coming YouTube people. I'll shout you out, and that's the energy. I'm just saying that's phenomenal energy to be willing to shout out his people. I'm just saying it's love, it's love, it's love. And so back to we all eat. All right. I believe that's it. I'm wrapping it up. Peace until next time. Holla at your girl.